when was that? So 2 weeks ago, a shooting happened in Hoover at the Galleria. Two black guys were killed.
One.
I thought it was two.
Two? Where the other one come from?
18-year-old.
No, he was injured, but he's fine
okay.
now.
All right, so 18-year-old injured.
The 12-year-old was injured too.
12-year-old injured, and EJ was killed. He was the only one killed by the police.
Right.
So what do you think about the situation? Of course, you've been there before.
Right. So I think the situation is most definitely so devastating and so unfortunate. I think a lot of the times when you see these things happening around the world, you never think about how it could hit home. And I saw a quote yesterday from Mamie Till, who is the mother of the late Emmett Till, and we all know how he was killed. And I'm definitely paraphrasing it because I can't remember it specifically, but I remember one thing she said in there was she lived in Chicago, she had a son, and she lived in a great apartment. So she was seeing all of the things that were happening to Negroes in the South, but she thought to herself, since her conditions were great, she didn't think enough to empathize with the people and what they were going through until it happened to her son. So I think a lot of the times we need to be more conscious, not just when it's conditional. And just alone, what I've seen and the opinions of people, I think it's just so disappointing, not just as a race, but as humans, period. We've got to learn how to stop being so selfish, because it could have been any of us. I have two brothers. I have a nephew. I have a lot of people that I'm friends with that are males that are African Americans, and it could have happened to any of us. So I think we need to make it our business as people, especially African Americans, to be more supportive regardless of who it is. And I saw a lot of things online that were like, African Americans do a lot of things to each other, so why should we respect people as human? Being a child of God is not conditional. It's our duties, regardless of who you believe in, it's our duties as children, period, to be concerned and to always love one another. I hate that happened, but it something, especially the city of Birmingham, we needed something to happen for us to realize how powerful we are as a group of people and as a race. I'm not saying that there's anything that we can do as of right now to fix the disparities within the African Americans, world and society. A lot of these issues are generational. A lot of these issues has everything to do with the rearing and the responsibility as parents, great-grandparents, whatever. So I think going forward, I'm going to continue to pray and support those people who are supporting EJ, because what happened was totally wrong. There's always a way to do certain things. So I just really hope that justice is served and that there are good things that come from this. I want to especially shout out Carlos. I can't think of his last name, but he's like a young African American in the city of Birmingham who is an activist, and he is totally convicted in what he believes. I wish that I was president in Birmingham right now to see the aftermath of everything, but I wish that there were more people out there who are that selfless to fight for something that they know is wrong. Because it's one thing to agree with something being wrong in private, but it's another thing for you to agree about it and be loud about it in public.
A lot of people that's not from Birmingham don't realize this happens almost every other day. Like
every day.
At the Western Hills Mall.
Every day.
It happens all the time. Nobody, does it even make the news?
No. So, it might make it to social media, but that's about it.
And they also don't understand why it's such a bigger deal, because it happened in Hoover.
It's amazing because growing up in Fairfield was the premier city for African Americans back in the day. Like, I remember my mama asked her why we moved to Birmingham, because we moved from Bush Hills, right over there in the upscale area near Legion Field, to Fairfield. That's where I grew up, even though I was born at that home on Bush Boulevard. And Fairfield was the premier place. You had great people coming out of Fairfield. You had people like Larry Langford. Like, Larry Langford didn't care about nobody and what they had to say. Fairfield Industrial High School, thinking historically that school dealt with a lot of racial issues, even up until kind of close to the 80s. Fairfield was known for producing a lot of great athletes, a lot of judges, a lot of people who are huge in the education system. And to kind of go from being that premier city to kind of just falling by the wayside, that allows room for people to take their talents and their money to Hoover, to the Summit, to Montgomery, to, Tuscaloosa. So I think we have to do a better job as a community of getting these opportunities and appreciating them.
And taking care of our own.
And taking care of our own. So you wouldn't have to have an issue as tragic as EJ's to happen. Because like you said, this happens every day.
Every day.
Cooper Green, closing down that hospital. My mom was a nurse manager for the ER for years at Cooper Green. And now you're allowing other people to take over a somewhat black field populated hospital that a lot of people who experience those type of traumas, were going to Cooper Green because they didn't have insurance. Now they have to go to UAB and be a number.
And probably not even getting checked in.
And not even getting checked. Yeah, you got, it's historical that the people who come by with ambulance have precedent over the people that sit in the lobby, of course. And, who takes better care of you than your own people sometimes.